I'm Marjorie from Marjorie's Candies, and I'm going to show you how to write a little message with chocolate that you can refrigerate, let it get hard, and then you can take it and place it on top of a cake, okay, instead of using icing. So what you'll need is some melted chocolate. You can either use your favorite, or the wafers are great, the chocolate wafers, and you would use, I like to use the dark chocolate. I'm going to be putting this little message on a whipped cream cake, so I'm going to use dark chocolate, and plus I love dark chocolate. But if you have a fudge cake, you might want to use white chocolate. So I melted my chocolate, and I do have a video that shows you how to do that. So I melted some dark chocolate here, and I made a few cones, which you'll need a writing tip, and I'm going to show you how to make one of these cones, okay? So you bring one tip up and around into the point, and then you bring this up and around on the other side, and you just work the tip together. And of course, I really didn't show you really well how to do that, but I just thought I'd show you while I was making it, because this video really isn't about making cones. Plus, I'm left-handed, so it's a little awkward. Unless you're left-handed, it's a little confusing for me to show you that. But like I said, this is really about making the writing. So I keep a little, actually you can take, I collect them in here. I have a few, but sometimes I'll just, if I don't have somebody to hold a cone, or if it's hard to hold a cone, sometimes it's hard to hold all the chocolate and pour it in. But you just want to put enough in there. Make sure no lumps get in, okay? You don't need too much, because you want to write happy birthday a few times, because sometimes they do break. Okay, so you can place it on here so it's dripping. Okay, so you flatten it out. You bring the edges together. Just turn it down. Okay. Now you're going to want to cut a little hole in the bottom. Let me put my glasses on. Helps me. And you want to cut just a little hole, not too small, because you want it to be sort of thick. Okay, straight across. Hold it up. And I don't know what your message would be, but I'm going to write happy birthday to Maiko, my cameraman. Okay? So, depending on how big your cake is, and you also want to try to make sure that all your things sort of are one piece. Okay? Okay, I hold the tip. You can make happy birthday. So obviously my first letter is not connected, but that's okay. And we'll say Maiko. Very good, and I can even make a little dot. I'll just have to collect that later. And let me cross my T and dot my I there. There, okay. And so I am just going to, I'll just put it in here. And what we need to do now is put this in the refrigerator. I could have made a couple of them in case this one breaks. We'll just have to hope this one doesn't break. Okay? We'll improvise if it does. I usually make more than one. So we have to wait about 5 or 10 minutes for that to harden up, and then I'll show you how to put it on the cake. We're ready to take Maiko out of the refrigerator and see if he's ready to be put on the cake. Okay, what I did was I made this little chocolate log cake with wafers that I do have a YouTube video for. I only made half of the log, just because it's for demonstration purposes only, okay? So you want to kind of push where it's the thickest, and you can kind of just move it around a little bit, okay? See, it comes off very nicely. So just pick up a piece, and the cake slants down this way, so we're gonna put happy, back here, happy. Oh, put the little H over there too. Okay. Happy birthday. We'll have to leave room for the B. So you can really put it down on the cake like that if you like to. Okay. Only problem is you have a little problem finding a place to put the dot. it's not going to go in the middle of the air. Okay. And then we'll put Miko down below. All right. I'll just sort of just stick him right there. If I had really room, I could put him. I could put it better. But let's see, let's put a little dot. So you can put a dot on the Miko. I can get him to come up. Here, whoop. Let's stick a little dot in there. We'll put a dot on the birthday too, because somebody, my family would notice that there wasn't a little dot there. And they'd wonder where it was. So there you go. Now if the cake was bigger, you could set it up a little bit better. But that gives you a general idea of what to do. Like I said, when you move things around, move them around from a fatter part, you know, so it doesn't break. I'm trying to get him to stand. But that looks nice. Okay, oh, and I have some wonderful strawberries here. Because if you make a mistake there, nobody will notice if you have these absolutely gorgeous strawberries around all the way around your cake. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, whoop. This cake is ridiculously small, but still going to be delicious. Okay, just put a few around there. Obviously, it's only big enough for 4 people, so everybody can have their own strawberry. With one for the extra one for the birthday boy. Okay, there you go. Thank you very much.